Now, Dr. Esmeralda Manful is Senior Lecturer at the Department of Sociology and Social Work at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. She joins in via Zoom on this situation. Dr. Manful, thanks so much for your time. So I listed a couple of the reasons I heard. Some mentioned poverty, some mentioned jobs, some mentioned lack of training, and some also said that they weren't connecting with the education they were receiving in the classroom. In all of these reasons, which would you say is most paramount?
Okay, thank you very much for having me on your program. I think each one is very relevant, and it actually depends on where exactly they are coming from. And so, you know, what they are referring to is our structural problems that we have. And as a country, we have to try and curb the situation. I think I like what the psychologist said, that if we put things in place from the source of the communities they are coming from, they will resist the temptation of moving to the urban centers. And so, because the main reason is that once there's demand, there will be supply. That is it. Yeah. So if the urban centers are made unattractive, and where they are made more attractive, I think they will stay.
Okay.
We will have these problems, not yeah.
When you say if the urban centers are more attractive, they won't come. They will come, definitely. How do we make the urban centers less attractive to these people living in rural Ghana?
Yeah, I think the main reason, the short story of their moving is about poverty, but that's the short story of it. So then they move away from that situation and come to a place that supposedly is better. But then, as the lady in the documentary showed, then she shows the greener pasture that she was looking for. She comes and it's not as green as they thought, you know. So then, how do you go back? And for me, my biggest worry is the children. The children that are also migrating from the rural areas to the urban centers. That's the biggest problem. Because the adults, it's a decision they've made. But for the children, they are pushed harder to come. And then they face a lot more challenges than the adults. So that's a very big problem. So, and she mentioned that, I like the idea that she admitted herself that she did not take her education serious. And I think that's a good message for all of them, that they should take their education serious, irrespective of where they are having it, but they should take it serious, and it will give them better opportunities than them moving to the supposedly greener pasture that actually doesn't exist.
Okay. Would you say that in recent times, the numbers of people coming to urban centers are increasing or they are decreasing? I'm asking this because government set up the One District, One Factory program as sort of a way to get people to stay in the rural areas and farm and work in these factories. That was also the thinking behind the Planting for Food and Jobs program. Would you say these programs have had any sort of impact on the rural-urban drift we have in the country?
Well, gentlemen, unfortunately, I don't have the data, so I can't speak to that. So I'm sorry, I don't have the data, so I can't speak to whether it has curtailed or it has improved. You know, I think the whole idea was if we have more districts there, it will create an avenue. And I don't have the data. I'm sorry, so I can't.
It's fine. It's fine. But is the situation even avoidable? I've read a World Bank report that shows that in a few decades, half of Africa's population will be living in urban centers. So would you say that this situation is even avoidable in the first place? Should we not rather be making these urban destinations more conducive for job creation and economic growth?
No, you see, what is trying to show that, for instance, Kumasi is already urban. So Kumasi become mega urban. And where they are coming for where it's a rural, it's also becoming urban. You get it? So it's not that we should make one place more attractive than other. Why don't we make where they are also coming from attractive? And we can make that attractive if we have job opportunities. We create the factories so people can live in there. So if you are coming from the north, how do we make shea butter that they use, that they are actually very comfortable with. How don't we make the quality of it, improve the quality, the price goes up, then so it becomes attractive. People will stay where they are.
Yeah, it is. It's very insightful. And whenever I have these social protection conversations, there are always links to economics and international trade. I'm asking, do you think that we have people from your side, the side of sociology, social work, do you think you have enough of a voice when policies to protect Ghanaians are being put together?
It depends on which policy you're talking about. I must say that. It depends on which policy you're talking about. And then I think your question is more, I'm an academic, so you want whether academics are involved in some of the policies. You see, for me in Kumasi, we're a bit far away from the policymakers. And so I think that Accra, I believe that those in Accra are closer. But that being said, sometimes we also get involved, but sometimes we don't. That's the unfortunate bit, that academics are sometimes left out in the policy design. I'm not saying always, I'm saying sometimes. So maybe, yes, maybe we would like to see more academic involvement in policy development. And then I also like to see the practitioners, the stakeholders themselves. The stakeholders who are actually part of this discussion, because we want to make a case for the Kaya youth. How involved are they? We shouldn't assume because they're illiterate. No, some of them are not illiterate, actually. They are illiterate. So we need to involve stakeholders more in development of policies. And then at the same time, I also believe that we should be a bit more futuristic. We shouldn't do same old. I think COVID has taught us this, that we shouldn't do things the normal way. Now we are at the threshold of thinking out of the box. We have to do more of that. That's what we have to do. Okay.
You mentioned investments in shea butter production, for instance. What are some of those low-hanging fruits, those opportunities that exist in rural Ghana? Particularly, I like to name the North because facts have shown that the development gap and the wealth gap that exists between northern rural communities and southern urban communities is very wide. So what are some of those opportunities that exist that even the private sector can invest in to help better the lives of these people?
Yeah, I think, you mentioned that we are doing more of international trade. I think it's actually not true. Now, for instance, shea butter is being made more attractive, maybe the packaging and all that, and people are going in there. I think we need more people to go in, and if we get more people to go in, and then we enhance the skills of the locals, not for them just to pick the seeds, but now also maybe the district assemblies, there's the bright ones among them, they come and do I don't know, I want to use the right word, this science of it, so that they become experts themselves. And, we have the cosmetologists themselves from the north. It will help us. And that's not the only product that they have. Maybe that's a popular one. But then they have the wadawa, all those things. I mean, they're actually very good products. And, I'm saying this because the world is actually now going organic. And if you go, there are lots of things that are organic. And I'm not a business person. But then I think the North has always been open. But if we, from the South, and all those who are maybe listening and they want to help the Kai, we should go in there with more of an entrepreneurial way of doing things and involve them themselves. Involve the women. And let me tell you, this is not new. It's been done. But sometimes, as human beings, some people want quick money. So why don't I just come to Kumasi and come and I'll be a porter for 2 or 3 days or 2 months and I'll get XYZ amount of money. That's what you're told. And then when you come to Kumasi, you realize that it will take you more than 2 months. It will take you about 2 years. Then we have a problem.
Dr. Manful, thank you very much for joining us this morning on News Desk. We're very grateful for your time. You're live on JoyNews desk. Still to come on the bulletin, we will engage the ranking member on the Education Committee of Parliament, Peter Notukotwe, on ways to sanction publishers who put out bigoted content.
The publishers must note that the Ewe people have rich cultures, including right to succession of chiefs, and nowhere in every land that the ballot is used to select a chief.
In our Ghana Month series also, we will look at various meats used in Ghanaian dishes.
And also, we are going to
Looks yummy. Stay with us.